Hi everyone, this is Spring, the fiber enthusiast, and today we are going to do a crocheted edging tutorial. It is worked up in multiples of 8. I went ahead and I got myself a base here to work off of in a solid color, but just so that way you can kind of see the edging. This is 2 repeats of the edging. They kind of look like these spoked tires in a way, with little picots around the edge. And they are worked individually. So you work all of one and then you work all of the next. For this tutorial, we will go through one individual, I'm going to call it a wheel, one individual wheel. And I'll show you how to do that. So we'll go ahead and set this out of the way and get started. I think this would be really, really neat edging on, like decorative edging, like on a small round tablecloth, because as you can see, it kind of curves your edging here a little bit. So that might come into play. If you straighten your edging out here, then you have the overlap effect. And of course, you could always add extra stitches in between these multiples of 8 to give yourself more of this effect where it's flat and then a little bit of space and then another flat wheel. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I will be using a green Premier Just Active yarn. This sample was done in some hand-dyed tonal purples of my own acrylic. All right, I'm going to set that out of the way and I'm going to bring over my sample here. So I've come to the end. Basically all I did was chain 17 stitches, single crochet into the second stitch. Worked a row of single crochets, a row of double crochets, and then a row of single crochets again. Please keep in mind that the terms that I will be using for my tutorials is US terms. Okay, so I've come down here to the end and say you're starting on a new stitch. You're going to go ahead and connect and single crochet into that very first stitch and place 1 single crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. The next step is to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Turn your work over. And we're going to count backwards 1, 2, and into the 3rd slip stitch. Now turn your work again, and we're going to place into this loop, around the loop itself, 13 single crochets. So working around the loop, you're going to place 13 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and every so often you might need to scoot it a little bit so that way you can add more. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Once you've got your 13 single crochets into your chain loop here, we're going to single crochet into the next stitch. Not into the bottom where your chain is here, but into the next stitch. You're going to place a single crochet. and 1 single crochet into the following stitch. And now we're going to turn our work again. And you're going to chain 1 and 2. Now we're going to treble crochet into that second single crochet in the loop. So we're going to skip back to our loop, find our first stitch, our first single crochet of that loop, and go to the very next one and make a treble crochet, wrapping your yarn around your hook twice. Insert your hook, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Yarn over, go through 2 loops, yarn over, go through 2 loops, yarn over, go through 2 loops. That is a treble crochet. Now you're going to chain 1 and 2 and skip your next stitch, 1, 2. So skip, and into the second, place a treble crochet. That's your repeat to the other side. And if you look at this, you will have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 treble crochets. Go ahead and continue working that. 1, 2, wrap twice, skip 1, treble into the next. Chain 1, 2, wrap twice, skip 1, treble into the next. Chain 1, 2, wrap twice, skip 1, and treble crochet into the next. We are at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 trebles. We need 1 more. Chain 1, 2, wrap your hook twice, skip 1 stitch, and treble into the next. Chain 1 and 2, and we're going to skip down to our single crochets, our foundation row of single crochets. So we're skipping over where we started our slip stitch here of the beginning of that loop, all of that. We're going to skip that. We're going to skip over the next stitch, and at the very end, that very first stitch, we're going to slip stitch. Just like that. And now you're going to turn your work, and we're going to work 3 single crochets into the chain 2 space. So 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to go in to where the treble crochet is and place a single crochet, chain 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to do 3 single crochets into the next chain 2 space. So 1, 2, and 3. And again, repeat. Single crochet into the top of that treble, chain 1, 2, and 3, and then 3 single crochets down into that chain 2 space. 1, 2, and 3. Single crochet into the top of the treble, chain 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to go ahead and move a little bit faster. Single crochet, 3 single crochets into the chain 2 space. Single crochet into the top of that treble. Chain 1, 2, 3. 3 single crochets into your next chain 2 space. 1, 2, and 3. Single crochet into the top of your next treble. Chain 1, 2, and 3. 3 single crochets into your next chain 2 space. 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to single crochet into our very last treble. Chain 1, 2, and 3, and 3 single crochets into that chain 2 space. 2 and 3. And now we're going to skip down here to our next stitch and place a single crochet. And then you would single crochet into the next stitch and begin working the same thing that we just did all over again. So each individual wheel is worked as a standalone wheel here. And there you have it. I hope that you have enjoyed this edging tutorial and are able to find a use for it on one of your mini projects that you are working on. Maybe you have an Afghan sitting around calling for an edging that you just haven't found a unique enough edging and would like to put this on it. Maybe you have something you would like to just do on the corners of something. You could totally do this on just the corners. Or maybe you have a table runner and you would like to add this on the corners of the table runner. There's many, many different ways that you can use these edgings. It's entirely up to you as to how you use these edgings. I would love to see where you would use these edgings, what you use them on if you have used this edging before. All right, everybody, if you've enjoyed this tutorial, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know what your thought process is on this particular edging down in the comment section. I'd greatly appreciate it. Be blessed, be a blessing, and until next time, everyone, bye for now.